بلد المحبة والسلام، بلد التنوع والوئام، وصفت بأنها إحدى أكثر الدول الآسيوية وداً وتسامحاً، إذ تعيش مجموعاتها العرقية الثلاث التي تمثل المكونات الرئيسة لمجتمعها في حب وانسجام، تجمع ما بين الجمال الطبيعي، التنوع الثقافي والتطور الحضاري. تشتهر بمزيجها الفريد من الثقافات الماليزية والصينية والهندية، مما يضفي عليها طابعاً غنياً ومميزاً ويجعل من زيارتها تجربة فريدة. غنية بثقافتها المحلية، ويعد شعر البنتون رمزاً من رموزها الثقافية الوطنية، وهو شعر شعبي بدأ شفوياً قبل أن يتم توثيقه. بلد بينانغ وملاكا مقصد عشاق التنوع المعماري والثقافي، وجورج تاون واحة ما بين البحر والسهل والجبل، وهي ثاني أكبر مدنها وأقدمها وأكثر تنوعاً. بلد مهاتير محمد صانع نهضتها الذي جمع بين العلم والحكمة والفطنة السياسية، فشكل نموذجاً يحتذى به للقائد وربان السفينة الذي قاد بلده وسط أمواج بحر متلاطم. ماليزيا بلد الحب وموطن الجمال، عاصمة التسامح وقبول الآخر. أهلا بكم مشاهدينا في لقاء متجدد من برنامجكم مع السفير. معي ومعكم الليلة سعادة السفير الماليزي لدى دولة الكويت علاء الدين محمد نور. Your Excellency, welcome to our show. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Your Excellency, can you share with us your impression of Kuwait and your experience as a Malaysian ambassador here?
Well, I've been here for almost 2 years. I think Kuwait is a wonderful country, has very great potential. It's unique on its own, the culture, the development, the people. And as far as I can tell, for the last 2 years, it has become my second home here. I love the country very much.
How do you evaluate the bilateral relations between the two countries, ties past, the present, and the future perspective?
Well, the bilateral relation between Kuwait and Malaysia has prospered for almost 60 years. It began in 1965 when our king came here in 1965, and then we opened our embassy here in 1974. But to tell you the truth, it has been very good and warm between our two countries, even though I think that much more things could be done between our two countries.
What are the most important fields of cooperation between the two countries? How can these be expanded further?
Well, to tell the truth, there's so many areas that we can look into. Malaysia and Kuwait has a long history of assisting one another. But of course, Kuwait in that part has a lot assisted Malaysia in its economy since the 70s, whether it is in plantation, energy, or the industrial sector. There's a lot of investment between the two countries, but now currently we are looking into manufacturing sectors, food security, or even to expand our oil and gas cooperation.
How many agreements and MOUs lead the bilateral relations between the two countries? Are you preparing some new agreements to be signed in the future, and in which fields?
Currently, well, unfortunately, there are only 7 for the time being. I know there could be more, but we have lots more. I think around 6 in the pipeline, covering from education, tourism, defense, and culture, and so on. But hopefully this could be materialized in the near future when our two leaders meet each other, hopefully in the years to come, and in the most closest future, possibly in 2025, where we are currently the ASEAN chairman, and we have this ASEAN GCC meeting, which all the leaders of the country will convene in Malaysia. Hopefully we will use that time to sign more agreements between the two countries.
Yeah. What about the volume of the bilateral trade in both ways?
Well, Kuwait and Malaysia, we have shared a very, comparatively, we share a very good bilateral trade. Last year, it amounted to 850 million USD. which is considerable, a big amount for this country. But of course, it's more towards Kuwait than Malaysia. We try to improve on that. We import a lot of oil from Kuwait, and we export a lot of palm oil to Kuwait, and of course a lot other kind of manufactured materials to Kuwait.
Yes. Is there any Kuwaiti investments in Malaysia and its volume, if there is?
Well, we have a big investment of Kuwait in Malaysia, but it has grown stagnant for the last couple of years. I think the biggest would be Kuwait Oil Company, which is available. They are present in Malaysia since the 80s. And currently, Kuwait has a stake at 4 blocks of oil in Malaysia. We have a lot of oil and gas in Malaysia, where KUFPAC is part of it. That's the biggest one. But we also, Kuwait also is involved in plantation and agriculture in Malaysia, in palm oil industry.
Yes. How do you see Kuwait Vision 2035?
Well, of course, this is a very good vision for Kuwait. For a country which is not as big as Malaysia, I'm sure it is more achievable, to be undertaken. Kuwait 2035 has underlined a lot of development of a prospect, whether it is a physical prospect, whether it is humanitarian. I believe that it is achievable. I believe it could be achieved even more earlier than 2025.
Yes, we hope so. To what extent are the Malaysian companies interested in its huge projects?
Well, currently we have a couple of companies here in Kuwait, which has lasted for the last, I think, 15 years in this country, whether it is in oil and gas, energy, or even in some of the health sectors. But hopefully towards the coming years there'll be more, and of course 2035 still 10 years away, so hopefully more companies will come.
Yeah. Is there any collaboration with the Kuwait Fund for Arab Development?
Well, we had in the past, in the 70s and the 80s, when we just 15 years after our independence, Kuwait Fund has played a very significant role in our energy, in our agriculture sector. But the cooperation has ended in the late 80s, 89 if I'm mistaken. But of course, I've met the Kuwait Fund last year, and they're looking forward to have more cooperation with us.
مشاهدينا فاصل ونرجع نكمل حوارنا مع السفير. مشاهدينا رجعنا لكم من بعد الفاصل ونستكمل حوارنا مع سعادة السفير الماليزي لدى دولة الكويت علاء الدين محمد نور. Welcome back again, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, we will move to the regional and international Kuwaiti role. So how do you see the role that Kuwait plays regionally and internationally in peacekeeping and resolving issues?
Well, Malaysia and Kuwait, especially Kuwait, we have known that Kuwait to be a very aggressive contributor in any kind of humanitarian or peacekeeping efforts that has been done worldwide, whether it is regionally or internationally. Just for take for instance in the Palestinian cause, or whether it is a natural catastrophe which happened in Turkey last time, which I think Kuwait has played a very vital role, and I'm proud of what Kuwait is doing as a brother to Kuwait. We believe this is the kind of assistance that should be done by any countries in this region. More known for Kuwait, they are very active in regional humanitarian efforts, and I've not known any kind of humanitarian effort that is involved Kuwait. So as someone who's here, who observe how things are done here, I believe that Kuwait has played a very important role in any kind of humanitarian or peacekeeping, and I think Kuwait will do more in the future.
Yes. Your Excellency, how can you describe the coordination between the two countries in the international arenas?
Malaysia and Kuwait has cooperated a lot, whether it is between the regional body, the GCC,
Yes.
with Malaysia in ASEAN, or whether it is in the OIC, International Islamic Organization, which is a further bigger cooperation, and of course the UN. To talk about this, I think in the international organizations such as OIC, Malaysia has always in the same line with Kuwait, whether it is in the humanitarian or in the security, in the development, or any kind of resolution. We have always cooperated, we have always supported each other. But now, where Malaysia is the chair of ASEAN, and now Kuwait also is the chair of GCC, we are looking into working into this cooperation, whether which sector that we can help each other or support each other or build up together. And yes, I believe that this will go on in the future.
Yes, of course. What about Kuwait's humanitarian role in both natural disasters or man-made ones?
Okay, to tell the truth, Kuwait has always been assistant to all, whether it is man-made or is it a natural catastrophe. Kuwait never shies away from helping others, especially our brothers or sisters in Islam. But this kind of assistance has been quick, swift, and I mean it's very happy. It's very enjoyable for us to look at this in a way that Kuwait being very kind in helping others, without even having other people asking them to do so.
Yes, yes. What are the most important efforts exerted by the embassy to encourage and reinforce cultural exchanges?
Well, Malaysia, we have this program, what we call Malaysia Technical Cooperation Program, or in short, it's called MTCP. We have this initiative since in the 80s, where we exchange students, officers, workers from both countries to have a experience in Malaysia and what we do. The objective of this is for Kuwaitis to be in Malaysia and to be part of the program. So hopefully in the future, this experience could be brought back to Kuwait and dispersed among the people here, telling what Malaysia is all about. But in the long run, we also have we have some activities here among the Malaysians that we invite some Kuwaitis to be part of. It is a social activity. It's not an official one, because we believe that in the capacity of Kuwait having a very diverse activities here, especially the Diwani,
Yes.
we don't have that in Malaysia, but it's a very unique concept that should be, I think, taken by most countries, because this is a type of cultural event that could easily niche all kind of people together.
Yes, definitely. Is there an academic exchange between the two countries?
Well, we don't have any academic exchange, but we have students, Kuwaiti students in Malaysia, and we also have Malaysian students here in Kuwait. Back in the 80s and 90s, there were more Malaysian students here, but I think the number has dwindled down, but hopefully to increase more in the future. But I think the number of Kuwaiti students in Malaysia has increased. The last record that we have around 298 Kuwaiti students in Malaysia, but I think most of them are in a postgraduate degree in Malaysia, where most of them are in the public university rather than the private ones.
Interesting, yes. Malaysia is a world-renowned tourist destination. How do you see tourism contributing to the strengthening of relations between the two nations?
Well, I've spoken this to many people. Tourism is just not a business. It's sometimes a way how two countries can connect each other. When people visit each other, they will know the way of life, the cultural aspects of the country. We've learned that many visitors from Malaysia, they begin to love Malaysia when they see and experience Malaysia. To me, it is very important for Kuwaitis to visit Malaysia and vice versa. That is why we very much focus on having a lot of visitors coming to Malaysia. That is why our minister came this year. Our Minister of Tourism came this year, tried to work with many parties here, agencies here, so that more people will come to Malaysia.
Yes, yes. What is the hidden gem in Malaysia you recommend to the tourists, the Kuwaiti tourists?
Well, to tell the truth, a lot of the gems are not hidden anymore. They are, in fact, I know most of them are being discovered by the visitors, from outside.
Yeah.
Like Langkawi, last time it was not as popular as Penang.
Yeah.
It was the hidden gem.
Yeah.
But suddenly now it becomes very popular. It becomes, accustomed to everybody. I think many people now knows more Malaysia than I do, especially those who are very touristic kind of people. But I have to say, Sabah Sarawak is a part of Malaysia that many people from this region hasn't a lot ventured into. There are a lot of scuba diving. There are a lot of nice beaches, and I was told that it is one of the prettiest beaches in the world.
Wow.
The coral reefs and things like that.
Wow, new information. Are there any cultural similarities between Malaysians and Kuwaitis that you've noticed?
Well, one very daring aspect of both people that I believe that has a similarity is I think Kuwaitis and Malaysia, we have this strong family values that we focus on. I see anywhere in Kuwait, people do the things with the family members. They go everything with the family members. They do even they go for tourism with the family members. Malaysia also does the same. When we have any kind of celebration, we do it together in a family. So family value, I see, holds very strongly to this, and I believe this is also the same value that we have in Malaysia.
مشاهدينا فاصل ونرجع نكمل حوارنا مع السفير.
بمجرد ثبوت رؤية هلال الشهر الفضيل، يقوم الماليزيون بتنظيف المساجد والمنازل، وتقدمن النساء على شراء المزيد من احتياجاتهن المنزلية. في ماليزيا ترى الفرحة برمضان في عيون الجميع من رجال ونساء وأطفال. وقبيل صلاة المغرب يشتد الازدحام أمام المساجد، حيث يتم توزيع أشهر وجبة رمضانية بالمجان وتسمى بوبور لامبوك، والتي تتكون من عصيدة أرز باللحم والتوابل. وما أن يحل وقت صلاة التراويح لتشاهد الماليزيين مرتدين قبعاتهم المستطيلة الشهيرة يتسابقون إلى المساجد وسط الزينات والأنوار، فهم يحرصون على أداء جميع الصلوات في جماعة. وعقب الانتهاء من أداء الصلاة تعقد مجالس العلم وتنظم حلقات تلاوة القرآن الكريم. ومن أشهر المساجد في ماليزيا مسجد مدينة شاه علم، الذي يعتبر من أشهر المساجد التي يتهاتف عليها المصلون لصلاة التراويح، ومسجد السلطان صلاح الدين عبد العزيز شاه، والمسجد الأزرق. ومن أبرز الطقوس الرمضانية التي تميز ماليزيا إقامة مهرجانات للمأكولات والحلويات بأنواعها وأشكالها المختلفة، يطلق عليها باللغة العربية بازار رمضان. والشيء اللافت هنا أن الشعب الماليزي لا يهتم بتناول الإفطار خارج المنزل في شهر رمضان، بل يفضل الإفطار مع العائلة. أما مشروب الكولاك فيعد من أكثر العادات المحلية الماليزية انتشاراً في الشهر الفضيل، لاعتقادهم أنه يساعد على تحمل العطش ويدفع الظمأ عن الجسم في نهار رمضان. المائدة الماليزية لا تخلو من الأطباق المميزة كطبق بوبور لامبوك وكيتوبات ولانتونغ وليمانغ وناسي كيرابو وريندانغ وأيام بيرسيك وميرات باك، وهي أكلات مشهورة تتصدر الموائد الرمضانية في ماليزيا. أما المسحرات فلا يزال يتمتع بشهرة واسعة في ماليزيا في بعض مدنها وقراها، ولا يزال يطوف بالأحياء والمنازل لينبه أهلها بأن موعد طعام السحور قد حل. ومع اقتراب شهر رمضان للرحيل واقتراب حلول يوم العيد، يقوم بعض المتخرجين من المدارس والمعاهد الدينية بعمل لجان في المساجد لجمع زكاة الفطر، ومن ثم يقومون بتوزيعها على الفقراء والمحتاجين، كما ويوزع بعض أهل الخير الملابس الجديدة وحلويات العيد والأموال على الفقراء والمحتاجين. وفي صبيحة يوم العيد يشرع الجميع لأداء صلاة العيد، ثم يتجه معظم الماليزيين إلى قراهم، ويجتمع تقريبا كل أبناء العائلة ليتزاورون فيما بينهم، ثم يتناولون بعض الحلويات وتوزيع النقود على الأطفال.
مشاهدينا، رجعنا لكم من بعد الفاصل ونستكمل حوارنا. Your Excellency, let's talk about the memory. Like, when did you present your credentials? What are the most outstanding memories about that day?
I presented my credential in June 2023, and of course the most memorable is speaking to the Crown Prince at that time, Sheikh Michel, but now he's the Amir. I was very nervous talking to him. Of course the officers were telling me, oh, you should say this, do that, you know, you should straight to the point. So I was very prepared. When I met him, he was very casual with me. He was very casual, he was very fatherly. He makes my conversation very easy. And I remember the protocol officer telling me to speak around 10 minutes. But the Emir, at that time he was the Crown Prince, he spoke to me, I think, almost half an hour.
So you touched the kindness between the Emir and
yes. He's a very kind person. I was very touched by that experience. And of course, I tried to keep it light, the conversation, but he went into the deeper ideas in the conversation.
Yes.
But you know, that was a very memorable. I also have it in the picture with me.
Really? Do you like remember some of his words to you, like?
Well, when I spoke to him, I don't want to take away from the main discussion.
Yes.
But when he saw me, he said, "Oh, I met your king 2 weeks ago, you know, in London." At that time, it was, you know, the passing of the Queen. He straight remember, and then, you know, he said that I want to go to Malaysia. I haven't, you know, even yet come up with any kind of, you know, ideas to talk to him, but he came out to me, I'd like to go to Malaysia. I know the Malaysia. I will try to go to Malaysia in the near future, things like that. So it humbled me, you know, as a person, to be in his stature, to have this, you know, experience, you know, have this kind of idea with talking to me. So oh my God, this is a very good experience for me.
Yes. I'm sure you had the chance to try the Kuwaiti cuisine. What is your favorite dish?
Well, I like I don't know what the name is called, but it's looked like it has meat inside. I don't know what is the name called.
It's like rice or?
It's like a pastry. It's like a pastry.
Okay, maybe gabbot.
Or maybe.
Yeah, the one that's stuffed with the meat.
Yeah,
like a dough with the.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, orange broth, right?
Yes.
It's they call it gabbot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, when I go to a Kuwaiti house, sometimes they serve me this, and that is the thing that I go first.
So is there a similarity between the rice cooking between Malaysia and Kuwait, or no? The flavor is different.
Well, Malaysian food, we tend to love spicy food.
Yes.
And most of our food are spicy. Even those which we regard as not spicy, to others is spicy.
Yeah.
So, but I love the herbs and, you know, the ingredients that most of the Kuwaiti food or most of the Arab food they have. That's why there's so many Arab foods in Malaysia, because we tend to enjoy a lot of food between our two people. But to say the least, it's not much of a difference between our two foods, because I can adapt really easily to the Kuwaiti food.
Yes. How do you like to spend your free time here in Kuwait?
Well, one thing about Kuwait, everything is beside the beach.
Yeah.
You know, so I like to walk beside the beach. In Malaysia, we rarely get this experience unless you live really near the beach. Even though Malaysia is, you know, it's like a peninsula, but here the beaches is stretching across the country. So that is how I like to spend my time walking beside the beach, even though when it is too hot. Yeah,
this is my point.
But I like just to stay in the car, even looking at the beach.
Oh, so you're a beach person. Okay. What is the most important Kuwaiti tradition you can describe as unique?
Well, I think I brought it up earlier. I think the Diwaniya is the most common thing. Everywhere I go, I'll tell people this. You know, it is a place where people can come together and be themselves,
Yes.
and speak freely, and the family, you know, environment, the family ambience is there. I've said to one of these MPs, you know, I even didn't know that he was a member of parliament at that time.
Yeah.
He spoke with me, you know, he spoke of my, you know, on my shoes, on my legs. You know, I was hurting my leg at that time. We spoke freely.
Yes.
So I felt very at home in that kind of event. So
Yes.
this is one of the things that I probably tell people, you know.
Yeah, it's a
all
social
over this.
gathering.
Yeah,
Like.
social gathering. Yeah.
Yes. Your Excellency, can you tell us more about the Ramadan traditions in Malaysia and the similarities between them here and in Malaysia?
Yes. I think the similarity between the two countries in Ramadan is almost the same. It's just that we don't have this Diwaniya in Malaysia, this rapid Diwaniya in Malaysia. In Malaysia, the breakfasting event is very much looked after. We have this kind of event, even not just with family members. We have this even with the other communities, even with other non-believers, you know, even not Muslim. We have this. And in Malaysia, because it is a melting pot of different races in Malaysia, even the other races, which is who are not Muslim, they also celebrate, you know, Ramadan together with us. They do not eat during the day, and they breakfast with us. And this is the kind of activity that we do throughout Ramadan. And of course, heading towards Eid, everyone is looking forward for this kind of event where everyone meets. But you know, in terms of how the community meet together, they are not much different from Kuwait. I know in Ramadan, everyone goes out, you know, in Ramadan. It's the same with Malaysia. Of course, we have also this Tarawih thing that we do. We have this late night supper that we do after Tarawih. And then there's a sahur where we eat at night. But this is only a family event that we do. But other than that, it's much more the same. Family is at the core, where we do everything together.
Yes. What makes Ramadan special in Malaysia?
Well, we have this what we call Ramadan Bazaar, which we have every day. It starts at around 4 o'clock in the afternoon until the Maghrib time. People are selling. It first started as a business effort, but later on, after I think more than 20 years, it has become a tradition in Malaysia. It does not feel like Ramadan when we do not have Ramadan Bazaar, where everyone will go and buy their, you know, breakfast meals. Not just the Muslim, the non-Muslim are also looking forward for this bazaar. And it is a one-time occasion that we have in Malaysia, and it is widely undertaken in Malaysia. For example, for every township that we have in Malaysia, there are sometimes 4 or 5 this Ramadan bazaar that we have, and it's very huge. And one bazaar can accommodate for probably around 300 stalls at one time. And it becomes something, it causes traffic when this bazaar is taken in place. But you know, this is the kind of thing that which is quite unique in Malaysia. I don't find this anywhere in the world that I've been to.
Yes, definitely. Your Excellency, thank you for your time and thank you for being with us.
I'm happy to be here and thank you for having me.
مشاهدينا، وصلنا لختام حلقتنا لهذا اليوم، على أمل أن نلقاكم في حلقة أخرى. دمتم في أمان الله ورعايته.